Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee. Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Hi there, thanks for staying with us here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into Newsflash. It's promptly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Still Phones, Papa Pathie, and that's where you get to also share your views with us as well. Don't forget you can do so on our Facebook page. We're streaming live, and you can also do so on WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp line is also active as well. You can drop your messages over there. We've got a couple of things to talk about. As always, we'll be checking out the front page of the newspapers and what has been reported. We've got two major issues that we'll be looking at this morning. We'll be going to Ketu South, where we have the tidal wave conversation coming up. And also, the Finance Minister, Dr. Forson, has presented the statutory disbursement in terms of what is going into the fund, the common fund, the District Assembly common fund, to the floor of Parliament, and also instigated a little bit of conversation on social media. And many people have shown their concerns when it comes to the new levy, fuel levy that seemed to be looming. Now it's 1 litre, 1 Ghana cedis. They've been trying as much as possible to explain to Ghanaians what that means. The majority speaker in Parliament, Mahama Yariga, also tried to make some explanation to it, but the minority will not take it. Honorable Afinyo Makin also spoke his mind on that. We'll be looking at all that conversation. You can also let us know, share your thought with us. If there's anything like that, would you be very excited to pay that levy? That's the fuel levy. We'll be looking at that conversation this morning here on the show. So you can also send your messages. Let's say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise, Still Phones, Papa Pathie, and it's the best you can find, quality yet very affordable, and that's what we are telling you this morning. Go into any of our branch out there and make a purchase. You can locate us. We've got some of the branch in Adabraka. We've got some in the Central District. You can also find us over there as well. Do not forget, you can call us on the numbers you see on your screens and talk to us. Please do not pick any other number on social media to do business with. Call the ones that you see on your screens. Better yet, you can also download the app. It's the Franco Trading app on Google Play Store, and you have Franco Trading Enterprise in your hands. Now, don't forget that our website is also active as well. It's www.francotrading.com, and you're good to go. Franco Trading says Still Phones, Papa Pathie. So if it's your phones, if it's your television, if it's your refrigerator, your air condition, if it's your CCTV cameras, please look no further. Make sure you contact Franco Trading Enterprise, and they will definitely sort you out. We're grateful to them this morning for bringing Newsflash here on Prime Morning. My guest, I've got one seated already, 2 more to join me here on the show. My brother, Emmanuel Senyo, is here with me this morning. He's a member of the NPP communications team. And he's always been here with us. It's always good to see him, my brother. I'd wanted to put you in the NDC. You don't like that. After all that we have seen, you still want to be where you are?
Yeah, I still want to be where I am because I like where I am.
But a lot of people don't like where you are.
Why?
Well, they believe that your government didn't give them what they expected to be.
But that doesn't also mean that it should drive me away from the very
you are loyal
that I believe to. I'm a very loyal person. I don't betray my party, and I don't think that I would ever want to betray my party.
So you would never have to make a decision to leave the NPP?
I would not. I would not even want to close my eyes to think of that. No, I will forever
ready for
remain.
4 years in a position?
Of course, if it has to take us 20 years, I am ready for that. Yes. And
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so Emmanuel Senyo here with me this morning, and he says that it's NPP till all right.
Just like in the chapel where they'll tell you to till death do
us part.
Yeah, so I'm sure that it's the same too. But I'm sure that day when you happen to be there, you see that it's still NPP, nothing has changed. Yeah.
Well, I can agree with you. I mean, loyalty is loyalty.
Right.
I very much agree with you. Anyway, let's look at the front pages of the newspapers quickly, and then we'll get into our conversation. And Daily Graphic this morning says $2.5 billion industrial hub stalls squatters swarm site, and that's the front page of Daily Graphic. And again, city to stabilize around 10 Ghana cities to 12 Ghana cities banned against the dollar. President assures exporters, and some people are still asking the president to bring it down to a single digit. Some says, well, you said 10 to 12. But you can still do maybe 8. And that's also been another conversation there. But from where we sit, the president has actually met with Dr. Forson and the Bank of Ghana, and they are looking at stabilizing the city between 10 to 12 Ghana cities. Is that what you really want to hear? Or you think that we can bring it down a bit better, better, if you want to put it that way, for want a better word. Now, OSP uncovers 280 million Ghana cities NPA scandal. He spoke about that as well. Page 13 has got a story, and they are supposed to actually launch an investigation into this. And away from that, government releases 987 million Ghana cedis common fund to assemblies, and that's what Dr. Forson sought to do at the floor of Parliament yesterday, and also hinted the fuel levy. We'll be looking at that conversation this morning here on the show. So that's the front page of the Daily Graphic. At the back page, what do we have? And it says, petition to revoke LI 2462. Galamsey activists to secure 7,700 signatures. And that's Daily Graphic reporting on that. It's got Dr. Kenashigbe, the convener of Coalition Against Galamsey, captured over there. Dairo Bosu, Deputy Director at Racha Ghana, also captured over there as well. Businessman convicted of illegal installation of the inline pumps in Tamale. That's also on the back page of the Daily Graphic. The Chronicle is here this morning. It says, Sami Jemfi wants nation records. I don't care whose ox is scored. And gold smugglers will be dealt with decisively. In the coming weeks, we shall launch a standing anti-gold smuggling task force in conjunction with the National Security Secretariat. All persons who fall foul of the law will be dealt with no matter whose ox is scored. And that's what Sami Jemfi is saying. And Krobo Chief appeals to Gassem to complete Odumase Tema Akosombo Highway project. And away from that, government imposes 1 Ghana cedi levy on fuel to solve dumsor, and to force and pays 2 billion Ghana cedis into Get Fund. And that's also some of the payment that was made in regards to his presentation on the floor of Parliament. Now, away from that, let's get to the Accra Times. This morning, it says, Atu Forson briefs Parliament as John Mahama gives MMDA's oxygen to spur local development. And away from that, my return is to lead, rebuild, and restore our dignity, Mahama assures Ghanaians. And also, Ghana committed to fighting corruption, Bagbin tells AU review mission team. And away from that, Health Minister vows to address industrial action. Steady hard for good results. Bolsa South DCE to Fumbisi Senior High students. And away from that, beware of tobacco and nicotine. North Dai MP decries, and Africa must own its gas future, NPA boss says so. Those are some stories on the front page of the Accra Times. You can grab a copy and read all about that. Now, the Ghanaian publisher this morning is also here, and it says that Gold Board's historic feed ASM Gold Exports hits $4 billion US dollars, and OSP is waste of public funds. Engineer Kwabena Japan. And away from that, our MP not involved in a Dwajiri chieftaincy dispute. And so MPP says so. The rocky road to Ashesi, Professor Kwesi Yanka writes. That's also something you can read on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. At the back page has got pictures of the Tufo Osei to the second during his visit to the former president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo yesterday, which has also sparked a couple of conversations on social media as well. And yeah, you can get to see some of the pictures over there and what transpired yesterday. The news center is here, pretty much my last paper for the day, and it says government seeks to impose 1 Ghana cedis tax on every liter of fuel And as the finance minister captured over there, BOJ hits banks with reforms to cap fees, outlaw hidden charges, control NPLs, regulate crypto, rein in foreign-owned banks, and 10 years of pain. No justice for June 3 fire and flood victims. That's also captured on the front page of the news center. And yesterday, there was an anniversary commemoration of this very incident. It's been 10 years, and still, many who were all involved in this, some who have lost their lives, some who have lost families and all of that, have still not been able to get justice. And Senyo was there yesterday. He's the leader of the One Ghana movement, which, of course, is put together by our very own Samson Ladi Ayin. Yesterday, he was there as well. I was there yesterday during the commemoration. And the question everybody seems to be asking is, when will justice be served? And I think that is one of the things that we need to look at as a country. You know, they've been going back and forth with, legal issues and all of that, yet nothing has been seen, in terms of resolution. And so, it's something that we all have to talk about. Away from that, $4 billion gold cash from 41.5 tons export by Gold Board, PMMC in 2025, Sami Jeffy says so. The COVID levy into mental health, COVID levy into mental health fund, and Mahama Hills Otumfuo's peace efforts in Boko conflict. That's also captured by the news center. So you know that as of now, I'm sure you are aware that the Otumfuo has been in town for a couple of days. So first of all, he was at the Despite automobile launch, and then he's also visited the president at the presidency. And then yesterday, he visited the former president, in fact, he's also visited the former president, John Ejikun Kufuor, as well. So, yes, this is a duty tour here in Accra, and you'll be making a stop at many of those places that matters in the country to also pay visit to these individuals or public officials. So, now let's get into the conversation this morning. And I told you that we'll be looking at the tidal wave in Ketu South, and also we'll be looking at the levy, the One Ghana levy, fuel levy, that is also, rearing its head somewhere. We'll be looking at that conversation as well. But I've also been joined by my brother, Richard Suma. Richard is a leading member of the Movement for Change. Rich, good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
Good morning, KMJ. I'm doing well. It's a rainy morning. And I would like to caution all drivers this morning because there is a heavy accident that occurred just around the police depot here.
That took me about 20 minutes to be in that traffic.
Driver, I don't know. He's speeding and he I don't know what happened. You know, when
he's overturned.
It's overturned. When it's raining, the ground is very slippery and friction is not there. So they should be very mindful and understand that wet ground and tire doesn't work together. So they should kindly exercise caution when they are driving.
Great stuff. I'm grateful for your time this morning. I appreciate it. You look good, by the way. And Senyo is also looking good. You guys decided to go African and
I guess it's my
one decided to be more African. The other decided to be Yankee Kakra.
Senyo Square.
Guys, but let me share with you.
Difference.
I know
your fashion sense is top notch.
It's annoying.
It's his own way of telling me, no. You're looking good and I am looking, but don't worry. Let me also remind you, I'll be sharing with you some of the things that you need to look out for in terms of Big Chef. Now, Big Chef competition is on, and every Sunday it comes your way at 4 p.m. If you're bad and terrible at cooking, this is the place for you. Now, I've learned a lot of recipes over there, and every Sunday, these contestants actually blow your mind in many ways. And the judges, the special guests that actually come through also add some excitement to it. And so please, you're not missing it for anything. This Sunday at 4 p.m., Big Chef Season 4 is going to be coming your way again. And I'm telling you some of the things that you can look out for in terms of what they'll be doing. Every weekend, like I said, every Sunday, they bring you something special. And this Sunday, they're going to be bringing you something special again. And so I'll share that with you. But don't forget, put that in your diary right now at 4 p.m. on Sundays. And let's talk about it. So we're going to take a look at this video and look at what has been happening with regards to the tidal takeover, which has been going on in Ketu South now. A vital coastal road that links communities in Ghana's Volta region has been actually crippled, and once again by the unrelenting force of the tidal waves. The Salokope Machinu stretch, a critical route for commuters and local trade, now lies partially submerged and broken, leaving hundreds stranded and prompting angry protests from affected youth. As the sea steadily encroaches, residents say they have been left to their fate, no clear emergency response and no long-term solution in sight. Our reporter, Ivy Satoji, actually brings us first-hand accounts from the ground where frustration is growing and all the call for urgent government action has never been louder. Take a look at this.
It began with a rising tide and ended with a road swallowed by the sea. This is a reality facing residents of Salakope and Amuchinu in the Ketu South municipality. The anger was swift. Youth in these communities staged a spontaneous protest, blocking the damaged road to draw attention to what they call government neglect. The tension nearly boiled over. Commercial drivers pleaded with the youth to open the road and allow passengers through, but for the residents, enough was enough. It took coastal protection expert Ishmael Kwawununu to calm the crowd and mediate, but his message was clear. This is no longer just erosion, it is a crisis, he said.
The situation we find ourselves in is a very critical situation. The citizens of this area are going through a lot. It is quite unfortunate that there's no level of response, appropriate response, I would say, from government and individuals. In any disaster situation, effective communication is the goal. However, it looks like there's some lack of communication and leadership within this community. Now, under a number of circumstances, the NADMO or whoever the organization is should have had an emergency management system in place, where there is a communication officer, there's a liaison officer, there's a safety officer. When we got to this area earlier, the citizens of the area, the youth of the area, blocked the road. Now, blocking the road now prevents the traffic. If you can see currently, the traffic is now flowing. I had to actually call on the stakeholders in the community and negotiate on behalf of the pedestrians and those who are applying the road to enable traffic to flow. And I don't think this is the appropriate situation, because if you do not communicate effectively to people who are in crisis, it makes the situation even worse. So I would think that, on behalf of the youth of this community, government should bring in the right individuals, the appropriate individuals, and set up an emergency management center to deal with the situation appropriately, so that the youth are in a position to communicate with the right and appropriate individuals, so that the situation does not escalate. Because I can tell you without any reasonable doubt that this communication is, without the communication, the situation is going to escalate, and that is not recommended for this community.
Among those stranded was Claudia Pinta, a visiting foreign investor exploring opportunities in Ghana. What she saw left her deeply stranded.
Pinta, I'm a Bahamian. I recently came to Ghana last year to look for opportunities and was able to garner some partnerships. And so because of that, I've come back and I'm a foreign investor. And I'm accompanying my partner, who is a local Ghanaian here, to see this matter, and it's sad. It saddens me because you have so many resources, you have so many potential here, and it doesn't matter what government does. No government is perfect. But my concern is that the priority of the people is not the concern of the government. That should be something that government puts first. You can do what you want, but make sure you don't lose the humanitarian touch.
All right, so those were scenes from Ketu South on the issue of tidal waves, and the people over there are crying for government support. So we'll be looking at that conversation. You can send your messages to us, let us know what you think. If you're around that area, you can also send us a message. This is Honorable Jifa Gomashi, constituency. Don't forget that she's also the Minister for Culture, Arts and Tourism as well. And so this must be a very, very, very difficult times for her. Let me start off with Senyo. Senyo, you are familiar with this area?
Thank you very much, KMJ. A very good morning to you and your cherished viewers. And a good morning to my colleague. I just got to know that he's also called Senyo. So it's good to...
Are you kidding?
It's good to have two Senyos on the show this morning.
Rich, since when?
Oh.
Since?
Yes.
That's new to me, actually.
I also just got to know that. But it's okay, it's good. Senyos are very good people.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
KMJ, straightforward to the issue. In fact, this tidal wave issue is an issue that we must not relent on commenting on, particularly knowing very well how consistently this thing has occurred over the years. For me, like watching the video, I heard one of the things that the gentleman in the white Lacoste said. He said, well, there was lack of communication to the residents within the area. And I asked myself, where is this communication supposed to come from? Is it supposed to come from Nanadu, or is it supposed to come from, how do you call it, Honorable Jifa Ablagomashi, who is being paid by the very people who are suffering? Because it's the very people who are suffering. They are the very one who employed her. And today, her entire face is cloned with ministerial appointment as a tourism minister that she does not even know that there is...
That's stopping her from performing her duty as an MP?
For me, I think that she's not just ready to serve the people, because she is overwhelmed to be moving in a night convoy with buses and the tourism agencies that they are showcasing, tourist site and all of that, forgetting that her people are dying. The very people who gave you the opportunity, the very people who are putting food on your table, the very people who are actually feeding you. You forget about them, you neglect them, and you think that that is the right thing to go?
She's been there a couple of times. I think she spoke about this issue.
You know, when this issue happened this year, it was more or less like a charade. How do you call it? A jubilation for them. A jubilation in the sense that right after 6 months, the president jet off to the area. The area is actually called Salakope, Amuchinu, Agaveji, Blekusu. Those are the areas within that shore. And it is not only affecting that area, it is gradually extending to the other neighboring communities. And for me, I am so sad because Honorable Ablajifa Gomashi, who was once an advocate of this tidal wave, who was once bastardizing the then government, today she has gone into, lockdown. She's no more talking. She's not talking about the very government that she was advocating for. And surprisingly, what takes me by surprise is that the Volta region, the Ketu South, is the most strongest of the NDC. If you are to talk about the number of votes that comes to the NDC side, Ketu South produces the largest vote for the NDC. And again, this is your World Bank. This is, your home. If you claim that the then government neglected you, what stops you from, talking to your government, being on the neck of your government to tell them that wake up and make sure that the sea defense is fixed? You sleep on the job. All you do is that Friday night you parade yourself in how do you call it, open top cars, and be showing us where we have to eat chinga, where we have to dance. Is that what the people of Amuchinu and Salakopo voted for this woman? Let me remind you of
let me also remind you, are you aware that she's actually asked for the declaration of state of emergency on the 26th of March, 2025? Tidal waves reports indicated declared state of emergency along the coast of Volta region, Jifagomashi. Now, on the 4th of March, 2025, before even the 26th of March, she actually spoke about this issue as well. And it was also reported that Jifagomashi calls for urgent action as tidal waves ravage communities in Ketu South. And this was just in March.
These were done after the president has gone there, because during the president's visit, she was not in town. So she visited the place after the president has left the place.
Are these not calls enough?
After the
Spoken to the president to declare
I think it is not enough. We all know who Jifago Mashi is. We saw what she did in the then government. This woman was on the neck of Nanadu, calling out every appointee, the Works and Housing Minister, the then Honorable Asaisu Boakye, calling him out. Today, they are all asleep. They are all under the table. We cannot even see their face to tell them, to draw their attention to it that, hey, this and this is happening in your own constituency. Now, let me quickly remind you that on the 8th of November 2021, Honorable Jifa Ablago Mashi demanded from government that an urgent action has to be taken. Today, why is the same the Minister of Tourism, who was then an opposition MP? Why is she now? She cannot demand from her own government? Is it because she is a member of the NDC, so she cannot ask them or question them to, fix the crisis that the people are in? Or they want the people should die, then the place will become a tourist site for us.
So is it not the same person that constructed a center for the victims in 2022?
In 2020,
the same thing in Avagaji.
In 2022.
Sorry, I'm not pronouncing the name right, but in that area. No, the area. I know Avagaji.
Agavaji.
Yeah.
Yes.
She did a center for the victims.
That is not enough. KMJ, I am sure if you have the opportunity to go there, you cry for these people. Last 2 weeks, Monday, I had gone to spend the weekend in town. On my way from Aflawu to Keta, for close to 2 hours, no vehicle was moving.
Same situation?
Same situation. What the gentleman is talking about is an aftermath. Because at the time, the sun from the seashore has come to the middle of the road, has taken over the entire road. The young people of that community have to take shovel to, take off the sun for us to be able to have access.
So this started when your government was in power.
But it was not as extreme as what we are seeing today.
You couldn't have saved the situation.
That is why the good people of Ghana voted us out.
Government was in power.
That is why the good people of Ghana voted us out, that we did not fix the mess. And today, if
So you agree you didn't do enough?
Oh, of course we did not do well. That is why the people of Ghana voted us out. If you have been recognized and you have been given the opportunity, must you be sleeping? Must you only be a night walker? Must you only be a teaching gas seller in the evening? No. The same Ablago Mashi again called on government asking that where is the Works and Housing Minister? They should come out and make sure that that Sea Defense Phase 2 project is fixed. Today, where is the Works and Housing Minister? We cannot even hear of what they did. The only thing that we heard of was that the president going there directed the finance minister to, give them a budgetary allocation or to add them to the budget. Yeah. And all they could do is that in the budget, they allocated 200 million Ghana cedis as part of, the mitigating measures that will relieve the people. But the question I ask is that, is the 200 million Ghana cedis enough? Even per what I have read, it tells you that the 200 Ghana cedis, they do not even know the direction in which it's going. They have read budget for how many months now? The people are suffering. The people are actually excruciating. And today, all you could do is to come and add another 1 Ghana cedis to extort money from them. Meanwhile, the people are crying.
All right, so I'm going to come back to you.
That's the last thing I want to talk about. You see, this Amuchinu issue, people like Ablakwa, they were people who were...
Honorable
Okujeto Ablakwa, they were vehemently on the government, bastardizing left, right, center. Today, he is quiet because he is chasing one foreign affairs to the other, moving from one foreign country to the other. He is enjoying
it. It's part of their responsibility as well.
But you have forgotten the very people who gave you the opportunity to come and serve them. The same Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa who lambasted Akufo-Addo that instead of you to talk about Amuchinu issues, you are talking about foreign matters. Today, what has happened to his own home? His own home, people are crying, and he is there. All he does is to move from one...
But significantly, he has done a lot for those people.
What has he done? What has he done? Do you know of anything that you can pinpoint? I can tell you that Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa has not done a peswa to them.
Really?
As it stands today, from March up to today, he's dead. His lips are zipped. He cannot talk. Because his government is in power. He is enjoying the sweetness of the fruits.
Okay, I'll come back to you again.
He actually lied his way into power. And today, the tidal wave is exposing their lies.
Okay, I'll come back to you again, Senyo. But you can also send us your messages and let us know what you think. If you live around that area, you can let us know the situation over there and what the people are doing, what some of the help that you're getting. You can let us know. If the help is not also coming at all, you can let us know as well. Rich?
Yeah, KMJ. First of all, I would like to say good morning to you, your entire production team, to your cherished viewers, and to my colleague, my namesake, Senyo, who I realized that he's fired up this morning. And yeah, it's very pathetic when you look at what is going on in Volta region. And this is a systemic failure. It is not about MPP government or NDC government. We have a way of developing this country where we are very selective, and our needs are quite enormous. Our needs as a country, they are quite enormous. And because normally we don't have a scale of preference, we don't have a priority list, we don't understand which areas we need to at least tackle their specific needs, which ultimately have a negative impact on the life of the people. This tidal wave issue, it is not a news today. It is not today's issue. Time immemorial, this issue of tidal waves, especially eating into the Keita enclaves and all this, it has been there. Once upon a time, we constructed some sea defense wall. We started it all right, but we couldn't complete. And sea defense wall is the only way you can mitigate it, because the sea is actually bigger than the land that we walk on, okay? Yeah. The sea is actually bigger than the land that we walk on. So if you don't tame the sea can automatically wipe everybody out there. And then again, it's also pathetic to see how Volta region has been neglected over the years. Volta region, for God knows what crime we have committed to Ghanaians or to the leadership of both governments. Like Senyo is saying, NDC always claim that Volta region is their stronghold, but I can bet my last penny that there is nothing that is in Volta region that would suggest that the toil, the sacrifices that our people make to make NDC who they are, by giving them unflinching allegiance, that no matter how it is, good or bad, they vote for them, just like MPP also does in Ashanti region, good or bad, they also have an unfettered allegiance to MPP. It is the same thing that is happening. So now, what I'm trying to drive at is that this issue is a national disaster. So just calling for a state of emergency, even NDC promised they would institute a state of emergency to combat Galamsey. So now have they been able to do it? No. So if Honorable Gomashi is talking about state of emergency to curtail some of the issue happening in Keita, would it be achieved? Would it be implemented? The answer is no. So what are we going to do? There should be a deliberate plan to construct the sea defense wall to prevent the sea from eating into the land. Because you see, Volta region, whether you like it or not, we are all part of the Ghanaian architecture. People bastardize us, people claim we are Togolese, we are this, we are that, and it has eaten into the mind of governments that comes and go. Especially in the previous administration, they for once, they don't want to even hear about Volta region. But that notwithstanding, we still believe that we have a role to play as far as the national development is concerned. Now, if you look at the economic activities within the area, this tidal wave is affecting economic activities. Yeah. Tidal wave is affecting agriculture activities. Tidal wave is affecting humanitarian activities. Like what the investor, the one who just spoke on the interview, that she came to invest in the enclave because that enclave has a lot of tourism potential. That area could become the Miami of Ghana. You understand? If you're able to develop that beachfront, because this beachfront you see in Keita and all this enclave that the sea is eating into it, they are not polluted as the ones in Accra as you see.
Yeah.
So these are neat places where you can develop them to become the Miamis of Ghana, where these places can become places for huge infrastructure investment. That people will build skyscrapers, there will be investments there, there will be malls there, there will be several activities there. Even if it is fishing, there will be modernized fishing. There should be ways of doing things that the people of Volta region, especially those within the K2 South there, who know that we are part of the Ghanaian society. All we are appealing to the government is that 200 million that they say they want to allocate, you know, Ghana, there's difference between allocation and disbursement. They can claim that we are allocating 1 million to you, but it will never be disbursed to you until thy kingdom come. So we are only saying that this is a national disaster. The people over there, they matter. So NDC, as much as you may not have all the financial resources to solve the problem in its entirety overnight, let us see the approach, let us see your commitment, let us see your zeal, your determination to solve the problem. This KTC defense wall that has been abandoned over the years, you know, the Blekusu area, they started it, but they have to finish the extension, they have to finish it in its entirety. So all we are asking is that don't let it look like the people in Volta region don't matter. When the spillage happened, and the president went there, in the SWAL MPP administration, the president went there, he clearly demonstrated in his utterances that in the people of Volta region, because you don't support, and don't forget, there is nowhere in this country that people will go and cast vote and it will only be voted, the people will only vote in only one direction. Others will vote for NDC, others will vote for Movement for Change, others will vote for CPP, they'll vote for everybody across board.
As choices, I mean. As
choices. So nobody should create the impression that you didn't vote for us, so we wouldn't do anything. So the question is that the SWAL administration, what exactly did they also do to mitigate it? Perhaps they didn't do much.
Well, they believe that's the reason why they were kicked out. And so if you decide that, you know, you're the best option, then you have to do what you have to do.
That's why I'm saying that our infrastructure deficit as a country is quite enormous. Okay, we don't need anything less than $15 to $20 billion or $50 billion to at least move our infrastructure deficit to a very appreciable level. So the present government, they may not have all the resources to go and do that, but they should show the goodwill. I mean, they should mobilize resources. I don't know how NADMO is resourced in the region, how NADMO is resourced in the municipality. I don't know. So as it stands now, NADMO must step in. They must equip NADMO. NADMO must have sufficient resources at their disposal to go and help the people. The people are in dire need. They are Ghanaians. They are taxpayers. We cannot say that they don't matter in our economic development. Because let me tell you, in Ghana today, most of the fisher folks, they are either Voltarians or people from the central region. Even go to central region, vast majority of the fisher folks there, they are Voltarians. Go to western region, vast majority of the fisher folks there, they are Voltarians. And much of the fishes that we consume in Ghana today come from the Volta Basin. Okay, be it tilapia or be it seafood or everything, it comes from the Volta Basin because that is where most of our people are engaged in what? In fishing activities. So all we are saying is that KMG is a national issue. The issue has become so dire that when we are not careful, it will become chaotic. As you see in the video, people are blocking road, people are blocking other roads elsewhere because they are getting frustrated. And the people believe that the only way to draw the government attention is to do some of these things so that their plight will be what? Will become known to the public. I'm glad that at least we are having this conversation today on Joy Prime as part of your major topics. I will want to appeal to the Mahama-led government that don't wait that the next 4 years you people start roaming around in Volta region, gallivanting from one place to the other, canvassing for their vote, and my people too, so gullible as they are, they'll continue to vote for the NDC no matter how they deliver to them, which is not good. So I want to appeal to the people of Volta region to that. Look at who can be of good service to you. Don't be following some political party blindly, because you have been following NDC blindly since the days of J.J. Rawlings, and we have never seen anything apart from Jinapor Testa, KMG, which is even non-functional. There is no single factory in Volta region as we talk today. That is a state-owned factory or even private investors that the government will encourage them that these are the vast potential investment opportunities in the region. Go in there. We are ready to partner you so that you can develop the area, create a lot of jobs. At least if for nothing at all, tourism is a low-hanging fruit in Volta region. So these people of K2 North, K2 South, I am appealing to you that don't take the law into your own hands. At least we are fortunate enough that the media houses are championing your plight, or they are at least advocating that government to do or come to your aid. So what we are asking government today again is that make sure you don't render lip service to the people. Honorable Gomashi, I have been told that you are passionate about helping the people, but not just be helping them by giving them chicken changes, giving them 100 cedis, 20 cedis, 200 cedis, giving them a cup of rice, a piece of cloth. These are not the needs of the people. You see, for an area to be called and developed, it is all about infrastructure, okay, safety and security of the people. So I am appealing to the NDC government that before your next 4 years ends, please kindly do something that the people will know that if for nothing at all, the vote that we give you, it is worth sacrificing.
Very well. You can also join us with your thoughts of this morning. Let us know what you think about the conversation we're having over here. We're talking about a tidal wave in K2 South. If you live in that area or its environment, you can also send us a message and let us know. Very soon I'll be reading some of the messages that you have sent to us. But I'm still reminding you that Big Chef is happening. Season 4 is ongoing already, and the contestants have been very poised. They've been bringing you all the excitement every weekend. And on Sunday at 4 p.m. is going to be on again. So please do well and be a part of it. Joy News Impact Makers is also somewhere around the corner. We're excited to be bringing you all those amazing people doing incredible things in different sectors and areas. And that conversation is one that you do not want to be left out. And so please follow us on social media. Do well to also watch all the things that we do. Proud to the announcement of the winner and all of that. And you can always catch up some of the excitement on Joy FM. You can also catch up on Joy News here on Joy Prime. You can also get some of the details on that. It's Joy News Impact Makers, and we're celebrating those individuals that are doing amazing things in the lives of many other people. So, like I said, I'll be reading some of your messages, but don't forget, we're streaming live on Facebook, so you can also go there and send your messages on Facebook. We'll read them very soon. And Senyo, is it a problem now for us to look at this from a different perspective? I don't know how many times that the opposition government would want to actually help in dealing with some of these things, because usually when it comes to some of these nationalistic issues, we decide that let's part away. Is the NPP ready to support in any way in terms of how we're able to deal with this issue holistically?
Well, I think that the NPP want the progress.
And I'm asking this because you're in opposition and you've not really
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that the NPP on any day, anytime, will want to see the progress of its citizens. I don't think that the NPP wants to see Ghanaians die. And personally, I would want to lead a charge to see to it that at any point in time when there has to be manual work that needs to be done in Salakopa, Agaveji, Amuchinu, and Blekusu, I would personally, as a native of that area, I would want to lead a charge to see to it that we do it devoid of politics. But one interesting thing that is making me so passionate this morning is that I am so alarmed at the rate at which the Honorable Minister, then a non-minister, lambasted the previous government. That is why I'm so alarmed this morning. And it is eating
that is always expected. Government in government.
It is eating into me, because at this very moment, what is happening is worse than what we saw in the last regime. And I'm expecting that she should be on the neck of her government. She should not think of the tourism position that they've given to her because of a ministerial position, so she does not want to talk. She feels that when she talks, the ministerial position will be taken away from her. And you see, the knee-jerk reaction the NDC government could do to us was to quickly tell us that, oh, I've instructed the finance minister to, make budgetary allocation for you. Ask yourself, as an accounting student, it's budget and expenditure. Budget has been read up to today. We are not seeing anything. If you and I can sit here for Atoforsin and the rest should run on certificate of emergency just within a day to pass 1 Ghana cedis to extort money from you and I. What stops them from making sure that they go under the same certificate of agency to see to it that the good people of Agaveji Salakope are rescued from the tidal waves? All you see them doing is that Fosinomics and atonomics. But they've forgotten that the atonomics, which is an atom, is rather changing and splitting things because the condition is not the same as they came. I am pleading with them that they should not wait for the people to die before they go there and now be giving them rice and be giving them where to sleep. Already, are you aware that the sea has already washed away some cemeteries?
Yeah.
The sea has already washed away the cemeteries. So what it means is that if the human beings are alive, what you need to do is to protect them because the bad ones are already gone. Protect the ones you have and stop the excruciating tax imposition on people. It will not help us. Now, the way forward.
Okay.
The way forward is that,
and then I'll do some message.
The way forward is that government must act now. Because I'm sure you've seen the video yourself. You've watched it. And you can tell the devastating aspect of what is going on to the good people of Agaveji Blekusu area. Government must act. Honorable Ablakwa, you must not only be on Facebook and be ranting and be attacking people. Today, where are you? You see, leadership is not only when you are in opposition. You must exhibit your leadership qualities whilst even in office for us to know that you walk the talk. But these are people who are just gullible, as my colleague said. And again, I blame we, the votarians. I keep on blaming our people because we are the reason why the region is not developing. So I am calling on government that they must act now. And in the coming days, if I don't see any reaction, personally, as a native from that area, I'll be leading a charge to petition the Speaker of Parliament to bring the Whites and Housing Minister to come and tell us what they are doing. If they think that they cannot do it, then they should allow us to go and call Donald Trump and the rest to come and help us, because they are rather interested in taking our 1 Ghana cedis instead of thinking of how to make sure that the good people of Amuchinu, Salakope, Agaveji, Blekusu are actually secured to prevent them from this excruciating tidal wave situation.
Okay, I'm going to do a few messages, and I'm sure somebody will be asking about the Working Housing Minister, Honorable Kenneth AJ. I'm not sure.
He's not even on Kasa. He's not even talking.
Well, that's very true.
He's not talking.
I don't remember
that people just took the appointment and they are just sitting down, not doing anything.
But I'm sure maybe he's also working behind closed doors. So yeah, but let me do a few messages from our viewers as well. I encourage you all to send your messages to us on Facebook, especially. I'll be reading some of your messages over there as well. This one says, "Good morning, KMJ. What a shame. Everyone is sympathetic to what is happening at Ketu South. Both your guests in the studio started with cogent remarks, but typical of such discussions ended with obtuse arguments." Richard in Amasaman sent in that. Richard, your namesake, I brought a message this morning. I don't know why till date people still think going to church every Sunday means you are saved. They see pastors to be God, but they have forgotten they are also humans, and the day of accountability is waiting for all of us, including the pastors. That's Naomi from Takrat. Okay, I'm sorry. This is yesterday. I think I made a mistake with that. Forgive me. This one over here says, "Good morning, Mr. Host. Please just ask the NPP man about the Keta port." Moses from Nigeria sent in that, and your messages keep coming through. You can keep sending them. This one says, "KMJ, tell Senyo they are the type who are encouraging the people not to leave to civil side. He's now threatening to lead a charge on government. Where has he been the last 8 years?" Kojo in Peki sent in that. Let me go to this one over here. And it says that, good morning, honorable host. Good morning to you. It says, I must say the JM-led government is doing well by enjoying the food of the previous government. It's good for them because government is a continuing one. The current president have us believe we are only good at voting. The president came and promised us not to worry at all for our problem, and with immediate effect will be solved. He then made it clear that the minister will include it in the budget. Yes, it was mentioned. Host, as we speak, we have been left to our fate. Truly, as we all know, voter region is a hub for voting, not development. Mahama has failed us. They neglected us after we received the president with musical interlude with full culture display. He enjoyed our loyalty for nothing. Senyo Emmanuel Senyo, you looked so classy. Keep it up. You're really a voice of voter. We shall get there. Edmond Gadasu Legacy from Keta sent in that. And let me go to this one over here, and it says that, good morning, KMJ. What is going on with regards to these tidal waves issues is so disheartening, and we pray that the government should come to their aid. You see, KMJ, Kama is real. So the very people who were lambasting Akufo-Addo has been muted and completely went down today, yet they have all the power. The Votarians are currently having a lot of ministers who were insulting the previous government. So now that they are having power, they should help the people out. The arrest of Chairman Woon, to me, just for political reasons, his rights were infringed, and you can be sure that in the next NPP government, you will need to meet some outrageous bill conditions. The OSP should go for those who were convicted months ago, rather than chasing someone who is yet to be charged. We are in this country when Madam Sedinam was convicted. Why is she not repatriated back to the country? And it goes on, and it says that if the OSP is serious, he can even prosecute him in his absence. KMJ Alenta, another E-levy is on the way, right? Either D-levy or E-levy. Madagana, Robin Peter to pay Paul. Thanks very much. Nanton do. Nanton is one of the conversations we'll be looking at. In fact, we'll be moving into that conversation pretty soon. It's 1 Ghana cedis for fuel levy, and that's what the finance minister has hinted. Well, they have tried to explain it, so we'll look at the explanation as well. Good morning to you. My brother in your studio should know in the era they did nothing about it. Tidal waves is a natural occurrence, so he should give us a break. The propaganda is too much. When issues arises, we'll find solutions, not lambasting the administration. The only way is building the sea defense wall, nothing more, nothing less. From Big J, Tamale Central. This one over here says, good morning, KMJ. I think the NPP guy is jealous of Ablakwa. See the way he's talking about him, and he's talking about the one city, he likes it or not, he will pay. Okay, so let me go to Gasti. And Gasti in Brekum says, this OSP is just a noisemaker who is just in the office to waste the taxpayers' money. Just recently, he lost a case but refused to mention it. As for President Mahama, all his appointees need to be lined up with their certificates for verification. What action is he taking about his fake physician and Sansa Dali? Okay, that's a big question mark over the Anne issue, though. Good morning. This NDC 419 government's decision to repeal the electronic e-levy only to introduce fuel levy, F-levy, 419 and Settings government. Ghanaians haven't seen anything yet. More taxes to come. Honorable Anas NK sent in that. You can send your messages on that issue as well if you have anything to say on the new levy. Let us know. If your one city is not taken, where will the government keep money to secure the people? Master Rahman Sala Tona Kalba sent in that. And the next one over here says, dear KMJ, it's gratifying that the Asantehene has clinically given plaudits to Samit Jemfi, the CEO of Gold Board, for his sterling performance. But with the menace of illegal mining in Galamsey still going on with alleged complicit of NDC members, I urge His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to, as a matter of urgency, declare a state of emergency on Galamsey in forest reserves and water bodies, as he, Mahama, demanded from Akufo-Addo when in opposition in 2024. While I would not be disingenuous disingenuous to say His Excellency John Mahama has not done anything in the fight against Galamsey. I still urge him to repeal LI 2462 as quickly as possible on the arrest of Wontumi. I think the security agencies should quickly arrest the MPP members who marched up at the Yoko premises and misbehaved, especially the guy who works with DVL. The state cannot be anemic for miscreants who overpower the security agencies, so action should be taken. Good morning, dear. Charles Champong sent in that. Let me go to this one over here. It says, good morning, KMJ. It's sad that Ghanaians say 1 Ghana cedis tax on every 100 Ghana cedis for e-levy is bad, but 1 Ghana cedis on every 12 GH Ghana cedis liter of fuel is good. Scam government. Okay, let me go to this one over here. And it says, good morning, KMJ. I'm so excited listening to my brothers from the Volta region this morning. It's good they have come to the realization that the NDC just used them as election machinery. I blame them to some extent that just to look at what Peter Amewu did for the people of Hohoi, but what was his reward? Amino in Sawem sent in that. Let me go to this one over here. And it says that, good morning, hosting your guest, the Ghanaian attitude, instead of your first speaker to tell us how he met the MPs and government to solve the problem, or even mobilizing the inhabitants to up their voices, he rather resorted to insults. I am actually disappointed in his presentation this morning. When was the budget read? The man must rethink. We should move to the community in January, campaigning for the project, not in your studio. Saibu Awuni Kamvili sent in that as well. A couple more, maybe from Keta. This one, it says that the Keta port is currently ongoing. Why are they not talking about this good initiative? The current government are not in support of this port, but now appoint 2 managers to the said port. Okay.
That is NDC for you.
This one over here says, good morning, KMG. NDC removing e-levy and imposing 1 cedi on 1 liter fuel is like giving someone fufu and taking away his soup, you mean to say. Baba Kingdom in Sako. Okay, Baba Kingdom Sako. All right. This one over here says, good morning, KMG. Sometimes I just regret being a Ghanaian because this shouldn't be a political matter. It's an emergency situation. Please greet Mr. Richard for me. Kofi Plaku sent in that. Well, he's heard you this morning. Let me go to this one. It says, sea defense would not be built in a day. If Senyo and co charged Akufo-Addo to look in that direction, they were only interested in the tokens sent to party office for funerals. Kojo Peki sent in that. This one says, who born dog? See how this MPP guy is talking. His name is Senyo, Emmanuel Senyo. I wish he would have been that passionate during the last 8 years. Early days yet, bro. But I believe NDC will do better. Jerry in Nkoko sent in that. Let me go to Akonsi Gariba in Tamale. And he says, good morning, KMJ. Why is President Mahama taxing Ghanaians 1 Ghana cedis again after pretending to cancel e-levy? Mr. Chairman, Wontumi rights has been abused by President Mahama's government for keeping him in Yoko for more than 48 hours. And may I know whether President Mahama and his appointees are prepared to be in unlawful custody for more than 48 hours when the tables turn in 2029? The word to the wise is enough. Now the truth shall make a large Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the next president of Ghana. All right, so those are some of the messages that you've sent. Let me do the last one on tidal waves, and then we'll continue with the conversation. This one says, recent tidal waves have indeed caused concerns. What specific actions would you like the government to take to address the issue? They are enjoying, so they don't care about their people. Unlike the e-levy, a direct tax where individuals bore the burden alone and had a choice, the dumsor e-levy on fuel is an indirect tax that affects everyone. The cost will be passed down the chain from truck drivers to traders to consumers, increasing prices of goods and services. This means higher costs for transportation, food, clothing, and more. The levy will have a ripple effect, impacting daily expenses like fuel, food, cocoa, wache, fufu, and even beauty services. In essence, the dumsor levy will make everything more expensive for everyone. And that's from Brookman and on Bill sending us that message this morning. And many thanks thanks to you for engaging us this morning with your messages. Please keep them coming. I'll go on Facebook a bit later to read some more over there. We're going to go into our next conversation.
I beg you, I just want to do some quick addition to the tidal wave issue. You see, every issue or a problem requires solution.
Absolutely.
Now, in the tidal wave situation, it is only two things. Either you look at the geographical composition of the area and know that perhaps these communities, like my brother is mentioning, have been in existence since time immemorial. Okay? There are communities that have been there over 50, 60, 70 years, 100 years. Hitherto, they were not experiencing this tidal wave. That is why they were there. But now, we are talking about a global phenomenon called climate change. In Ghana, we are also part of the globe. So, climate change everywhere affects everybody globally. The sea level is rising across the globe. So, when sea levels are rising, those communities that are very close to the sea, obviously, they'll be washed away. So you must do a feasibility study and see whether the geographical location of the people, they need to be relocated. Okay, either you are building a new community for the people, for them to relocate and have new communities that will be safe. Because don't forget, we are not talking about the tidal wave affecting the entire Volta region, or not even affecting the entire enclave of those within the sea banks. It is within certain specific jurisdictions, okay? So either government to sit down with the people, go into strategic planning with our housing development ministry, and say we are relocating, we are building entire city or communities for you.
Okay.
Good roads, good houses on a level ground. You just support that against the cost of building a sea defense wall. And do the comparison.
Okay.
Do we relocate them at a cheaper cost, or we build or we construct a sea defense wall to mitigate it? So besides that, there is nothing any government under this sun can do.
Okay, all right.
So they shouldn't make it look like we don't have an understanding of the situation. The situation is so dire that, like I said, the deficit of this country, the debt that, look at the debt portfolio of the country in its entirety. Where are we going to get money from to do certain things? So it is only you deploy any of them and do the cost-benefit analysis and see which one is cheaper and go for that option. Okay. But don't leave the situation like that aloof, and every time our people are going through this experience, very soon, very, very soon, people will sleep in their homes. Before they wake up, their beds are suspending on the sea.
I'm not sure we'll get there. Let's move on.
We'll get there, because the original minister, Honorable James Gonu, well, before the president will go down the 6th of March, he went to sleep a day just for popularity. Okay. Today, he is nowhere to be found. He's in Ho, enjoying.
Senyo,
they should go and sleep there again.
Let's move on to, and I'm going to start off with you. Let's move on to our next conversation. So, it's the fuel levy. The finance minister has hinted that there's a new levy that is coming, and it's the energy sector levy amendment bill under the certificate of urgency to impose new taxes on petroleum products. Now, this, we're looking at solving about $3.1 billion amount of money that we're supposed to pay to the IPPs. And from what I have over here, it says that the fuel type and the current and then after approval, what you're likely going to be paying. So petrol will be 0.95, and the approved after the e-levy will be 1.95. Diesel will be 0.93, and when approved, we'll be paying 1 Ghana cedis 93 pesos, and LPG will be 0.73 Ghana cedis, but you'll be paying 0.73. So that's pretty much not affected, but it's petrol and diesel that we're looking at, and this is a good thing according to the minister and according to Mahama Ayariga on the floor of Parliament. Now, he spoke and he says that energy sector levy amendment basically, it is saying that Ghanaians should give 1 cedi cash each when they buy a liter of fuel, so they can actually end dumsor. Just 1 cedi, so we can end dumsor. He repeated that. Is it a good course or not?
It's a bad one.
We have 3.1 billion.
A very, very bad one. See, this government They are scammers. And they are scamming us gradually. Ghanaians, we've not seen anything yet, though. This is just a tip of the iceberg. See, for me, on any day, initially I thought that the levy was very bad, but I think this is the worst ever we have seen them impose on us yesterday.
What makes it worse? People think that there's a bit of transparency over here.
What is the transparency in this?
Because we've got a situation to deal with.
What is the situation?
They imagine, you know.
As a student of energy economics, there are more excruciating issues relating to our energy sector than imposing an additional levy. Don't we already have a stabilization fund
that would put us into doomsor? We all don't want to have that.
But you see, I don't know, this government, they are making the mockery of themselves. Do you know why? We were in this country, this same government told us that there is no doomsor. When we said that there is doomsor, Honorable JJ, whom I'm told his guy name is J Blackie or J Black.
Who's that?
Honorable John Jinapor. I'm told he is J Black. That is what Honorable Atofosi made us to believe. He said that is his guy name is J Black. J Black made us to understand that there is no doomsor today. Why are they levying Ghanaians?
He was also able to come out to let us know that we've got a situation on our hands. If you remember that,
no, but the majority leader in his quest to explain to us why they are imposing this tax on us, he told us that it is to solve doomsor.
Exactly.
And I'm asking, were we not in this country when the NDC and Mahama told us that there is no doomsor? Didn't you hear that?
The last 5 months?
Yes.
Has that been there?
They told us there is no doomsor. So if there is no doomsor, why are you now imposing levy on the people? It means that you want to rob us. This is broad daylight robbery. This one, it's not like what happened in Adabraka robbery. This one, it is more or less like having this your light, 1,000 of them. And I'm not surprised. During robbery time, it happens in the night. That's why yesterday, this imposition was done in the night. They robbed us. We've been robbed. If today I am buying 30 liters or 60 liters of fuel in my vehicle and I'm paying 1,000 Ghana cedis, and on that 60 liters of fuel that I'm buying, I have to make sure that every 1 liter I am paying 1 Ghana cedis. What does it mean? It means that I'll be paying how much? 1,000 and what? 60 Ghana cedis. Do you agree? Compare that to the e-levy. 1% on it. The first 100 is free. What it means is that the 1% will be charged on the 900. Compare the difference. Do your maths.
Now, according to Doc, according to Dr. Forson, it says that we're not going to feel the impact right now. It's going to take a while because
I said that people are scammers. They have sweet talk. The same Dr. Forson who was telling us that he is the finance messiah. They will make sure that they increase revenue, but they do not tax us. Today, what has changed?
But won't you agree that they've managed the economy a bit?
They've managed the economy in terms of what? By imposing another one CD on us. Do you know that Ghanaians are suffering? Are you aware that we are suffering?
Ghanaians are suffering.
Ghanaians are suffering. Drivers are suffering. The ordinary market woman is suffering. Hawkers in the streets are suffering. And today,
with a significant
they told us that if 1% e-levy, which is to generate over 3 billion annually, they told us that it is the worst ever. It is not doable. It is not good. Today they are telling us that there are 1 Ghana cedis that they want to steal from us. They want to extort from us. Will give us over 6 billion Ghana cedis annually. And you think that these are the people that we should say that Mahama is the hope. This is the hope they told you and I. Is this the hope? Is this the promise they told you and I? I have said time and time that we fell short to the Capri, and today we are dancing to the tune of their Capri. That is why they are extorting 1 Ghana cedis from us. These people came, they dress in white. Just like you go to some churches where you see the pastors dressed in white to tell you that, you know that, holier than that. Mahama is the hope. The hope today, you and I, we are feeling it in our pockets. For me, on any day, as I said, I would want to plead with Ghanaians that let's actually petition them, that we beg them, we like our e-levy like that. They should bring back the e-levy.
You want them to...
Because this 1 cedi dumsor levy, it is not just 1 cedi they want to take, it is e-levy pro mass. Because when you compare, when you do your maths, you agree with me that the figures, come on, more than 100%. More than 100%. And that should be a worry to all of us. And since yesterday, after 8 p.m. till date, it is not good for them. I have seen COPEC speaking against it. And I think that this is the right time we must all resist it. We must ensure that this thing, even though they have passed it, and a certificate of agency, instead of them to be in Ketu South, they all sat there laughing, and the best you could see the majority leader doing is to, be roping in issues that do not matter, red herring, unnecessary matters. When people are suffering, he's rather importing issues that do not matter on the floor of discussion at the time. I have said it that this atomic guy, he's going to give us atomic bomb. Because the bomb, he's gradually preparing them. They call him phosinomic, but I call him atomic. You know what atoms are? They are small particles that can cause changes at some point in time when the situations are different. And today, if Atoforsin and his circle could lie their way through and be telling us that e-levy is not good, then what it means is that the dumsor levy will expose them. Okay. And that is what we are seeing today.
Very well. I'm going to come back to you again. Rich, give me a couple of minutes. Let me do this and I'll come back to you for your take. You can also send us your messages and we'll be reading them here on the show. Now, I'll be going on Zoom. I'll be speaking to Riverson Opon. He's the CEO of COMAC, and he'll be joining us to explain to us some of the things that we need to know with regards to this new levy that we're talking about. He's on Zoom. Let me see if I can find him on Zoom right now and speak to him. Riverson, are you there, Mr. Pong?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Good morning.
All right. Good morning, and thanks for the time this morning. I'm grateful.
All right. Thank you, too.
All right. So the Chamber of Oil Marketing Company.
Yes,
are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, so COMAC has released a statement and it's clarification into the fuel levy we're all talking about. What don't we know with this?
Yeah, I think what don't we know is the justification behind this 1 cedi for diesel and petrol, and 73 or 78 peswa on LPG, and that is even more worrying. LPG price should be as low as possible for an ordinary Ghanaian to be able to purchase. And the government should rather be promoting an affordable and accessible LPG. I mean, if it was even for petrol and diesel alone, that's not even the case. But for LPG to be slashed upon,
hello, Riverson. Okay, I think
hello?
Yeah, go ahead if you can hear me. We lost you a bit, but go ahead. I think we're okay with you now.
Yeah, there are other energy sector levies, okay, that are already flashed on the pump price. And for me and the chamber, it's so wrong to say that fuel prices are coming down, so let's slash it with 1 cedi. That justification does not sync well with us as a chamber. And we are calling for an emergency board meeting to react to this. And it's obviously an opposition for what has been done. And you can call it an emergency or whatever you want to call it. Nobody can justify this with any form of economics, because today when you buy electricity price, okay, I'm sorry, if you buy electricity, that's from the tariff perspective,
yeah,
there is a component of fuel in the price build-up. So if today PRC tells us that they are running a cost-reflective tariff, which in economics means that we are able to pay for everything, i.e. generation, distribution and transmission of power, then go back to it and go back to the drawing table and say that let's rather increase the products, I mean the petroleum product aspect or the fuel aspect of the generation, which will not need any act, which will not need any parliament approval, because it is part of the price buildup. The question is, why downstream? Why the pump price? My members' margin is only 3% of the entire pump price, where there are more than 13% levies and taxes on the pump. Why add more? You know, obviously the consumer, I believe, will react. But then we are not speaking for consumers at this time. We are speaking for our members who are doing cash and carry, whose working capital would need to increase. Because you see only one city, but when you multiply by the liters that are consumed a day, it's not just one city.
But it's not also, Mr. Paul, it's not also for the fact that the justification they are giving for this is a nationalistic angle, which, of course, we all understand the looming crisis when it comes to the energy sector. We've got about $3.1 billion that we're supposed to deal with. The IPPs are on our neck. Would you not, by virtue of that, says that maybe the government has just been honest with us, and so why don't we just allow this to go so we will be able to save ourselves the looming dumsor?
I thank God I sat on the Bank of Ghana committee which brought up the cash waterfall mechanism under the ESRP, that's the Energy Sector Recovery Program. There are fundamental issues that is not increasing revenue or money would solve. There are fundamental issues. Because, like I said,
such as what, Mr.
Today,
yeah.
Today, like I said, if IMF has instructed PRC for the past 2 years to run a cost-reflective tariff, the reason why 3 years ago the electricity prices were increased by I think 40% or 50%, okay, because we had to have every component of the price adjusted to meet the right amount of money needed to pay off. Okay, so if you have this as justified as possible, why do we need extra fund to buy fuel, which component is already in the electricity tariff? So what that means is that the ordinary Ghanaian is paying double, because you are paying in fuel in the downstream sector and you are paying for fuel also in the electricity bill. That's the meaning. All right, there are operational issues. There are dishonesty in the power sector as far as ECG is concerned. The full aspect in the WACC, that's the weighted average cost of gas, is inaccurate. This is what the government needs to do with. Look, the downstream sector has its own issues. We have a lot of issues that we are still, as a chamber, waiting for the government to sit down to address them. You understand? And not to be slapping us with extra tariffs, which already exists. Like I said, there's already the energy sector recovery debt, energy sector something. There are about 3 energy sector debt levies already. So why add one more?
Maybe they're not enough to cater for what we want to do with in terms of the amount of money we owe.
So if it's not enough, is the solution is the solution bringing another levy or fund? That's not the solution. Why is not enough? What has been done with what has been done with that money that has been raised all this while?
Well, maybe they also say that they just got into office in the last 5 months, and so maybe they didn't have enough from the previous government to be able to deal with the situation.
Bank of Ghana, we pay this money as you pay your fuel. Bank of Ghana, we prepay GDRE before we even sell, for your information. So it's not about how much time you've been in government.
All right, Mr. Paul, so what will be the conversation moving forward? What do we seek to do with this?
So we are raising a press statement today after a board meeting. We have an emergency board meeting. For us as a chamber, for sure, it doesn't sit well with us. That's what I have to say for now.
Very well, but would we be able to come to terms and understand maybe after the meetings that maybe this is one of the things that we'll just let it go and then we'll look forward to other agreements?
If the government had, like, you see, ESLA just didn't come. ESLA came with stakeholder engagement, so the industry plus the government accepted it, adapted it, and it was so smooth. Okay, what has happened yesterday is a shocking news for all of us at the chamber and all oil marketing companies. Okay, we woke up and then there's a new levy, which has never happened in the history of the downstream sector. So what I'm saying is that if this proud engagement had happened, probably we wouldn't be having this dialogue. But then obviously we're going to react, and we're going to react very heavily.
There are others that believe that this is robbing Peter to pay Paul. Do you agree with that too?
I don't know about that, but this is not something. We are technocrats. We are talking about what is happening right now. We don't adapt.
Yeah, but it has heavy implications. It has heavy implications on you as well, and it concerns you and your members, and that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, so,
if you're taking one out and you're bringing another one in.
But robbing Peter to pay Paul is another story for the politicians. But what I'm saying is this: I've told you that there's already a fuel markup.
Absolutely.
In electricity, but you go back to that.
Very well, and we'll be here, and we'd be looking forward to the engagement that will happen today, and then hopefully we'll come back to you again if we need any other clarification after the engagement.
Good morning.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. And that was Mr. Riverson Opong. He's the CEO of COMAC, and they have an engagement ongoing today. Once you're done, they'll be bringing some of the press statement with regards to that. Is a presentation of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies and COMAC representing over there. Well, let me. Okay, yeah. So Rich.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you again, Senyo.
Okay.
Rich.
Yeah, KMJ.
Yeah.
I will sincerely want to submit that there is no country in the world that develops without tax. And there is nobody who is not willing to pay tax when taxes are being put into prudent and judicious use.
It's always been our problem, yeah. The reason people don't know what to pay taxes.
Yes, and then again if you are talking about imposing a tax, I think the NDC really just got it wrong because the timing is just not good. Because you see, you don't hoodwink us into believing that there are some tax components that the previous SWAL administration imposed on us, which you came to revoke them. Therefore, we praised you, we hailed you, we still hail you for such good service that you did. Then we turn around, all of a sudden, and come and introduce a new tax. If you are talking about 1 cedi per liter, that means we are talking about 4.5 Ghana cedis per gallon that you are going to pay going forward. They've been touting themselves that at the small-scale artisanal mining sector, they've been able to export gold at the value of $4 billion.
Yep.
We are talking about an energy sector levy of how much? $3.1 billion. So I want to ask the government, I want to ask the politicians, what is their scale of preference? What is the strategic plan? Because in everything you need to have what we call a strategic plan. And if you talk about the energy sector levy, it was not accumulated just in one day, it has been accumulated over the years. And like how the CEO just mentioned that we have been paying energy sector recovery levies several years down the line. But yet still, at some point, even John Mahama introduced the sinking fund and all other funds that they are supposed to use to mitigate some of these debts. All along, they take the money and use it for frivolous expenditures. You came to say you have cancelled e-levy, you turn around to come and introduce another 1 Ghana cedi levy, saying that because the international market prices for crude or oil is coming down, you want to quickly capitalize on it and impose another tax on us. The people will revoke. The people will not understand it. Because you are not talking about a looming situation that just came overnight. that something has happened to the Akosombo Dam overnight. Therefore, the chances of we going into dumsor or the chances of we facing a major elite crisis is there. So under certificate of urgency.
But the darkness nearly plunged us into that. If you remember, 3 weeks or so, the minister came and said that if we're not able to pay some amount of money, about 300
that is what I'm saying. It is lack of
they had to go for an engagement.
Lack of proper planning and futuristic leaders. We have leaders who are only thinking about today. So when situations confront them, the only way to solve the problem is to quickly go back and impose some levy on the people, which they know that these are what we call low-hanging fruits. Whether we like it or not, we are going to buy fuel. Therefore, they understand that it's a low-hanging fruit. So let's quickly zoom in and make some revenue from there.
But the argument from the NDC will be that they just took over power and they realized that these were situations that were left behind.
That is why I'm saying that car power, those independent power producers that you are talking about, okay, they are organizations, they are businesses who you can sit on the table and have proper negotiations with them. Okay, give them a proper payment plans, follow the payment plan through and through, and then pay them off gradually. They are not saying that the $3.1 billion that you owe us, come and pay all of us just within the twinkle of an eye.
That's what the energy minister says he's been trying to do with a couple of months that they.
It is because normally,
yes, normally he had an engagement.
Yes, normally they sit on a negotiation table, but they are not able to fulfill their end of the bargain.
Which brings us back to...
this situation. That's why I'm saying that this money they are collecting, KMG, I can bet my last penny that they will go ahead because they are the government of the day, but they are not going to enjoy the goodwill of the people anymore if they go on this tangent. It is going to affect them badly because the people will realize that you've only hoodwinked us into believing that you are the best. But now we have been caught between the rock and the hard place. Now if NPP is also claiming that NDC is a scam government, then that means we have been led by two scamming political parties. Because NPP has also scammed us into believing that they are the best to solve all our problems. They had the opportunity, but they only accumulated debt and left it for other government to come and follow up. Are you getting the point? Yeah. Because this $3 billion we are talking about, it wasn't accumulated within these first 5 months of NDC government. It has been accumulated over the year. And then again, if we talk about dumsor, I want to say here and now that from the days of Kwame Nkrumah, there is no way that any sector or any community in Ghana enjoys 2 weeks of continuous electricity without interruption. Absolutely no way. So we have always been having these intermittent power shortages all along in the history of the country, okay? So NDC should not also use the dumsor mantra to use it as a leveraging tool to impose another tax on us. We are not against tax paying. Okay, but if you are paying taxes already, like he's saying, because you see, it is ECG who procures the crude. It is as a crude, the liquid fuels for powering the thermal plants, the HFOs and LFOs, all these things, they are being procured by ECG to the power producers. Okay, so already we are paying. Okay, there are several taxes on the petroleum product. Why do you want to latch only on that and use it as a tool to be milking us all the time? Okay, they will take the money and they will still not solve the problem. So those NDC folks who are saying, oh, if we should pay, if you don't pay, when are we expecting the government to get money from? It is the same government who told us that there is sufficient money, they can curtail the cedi against the dollar. So at the end of the day, the cedi is performing very well. Now, even they are saying that our debt has reduced to about 150 billion because the dollar is doing well. Isn't that the case?
The cedi is doing well.
The cedi is doing well. My point is that if you are saying that we have instituted the gold board, and the gold board can say that they have made 4 billion, why are we not using some mechanism that if 4 billion has been made out of exporting gold, let us put at least 1 billion billion into paying off our energy sector
instead of letting the people pay for it.
Instead of letting us pay for it unnecessarily.
So Richard, this is to buttress the point that you made, but not necessarily. But it's an observation that I did when I was reading through some of the comments that have come up with regards to this new levy. Now, I went to Dr. Atufosin's page when he posted this. I checked on almost all our pages on social media. I'm talking about the multimedia group because we posted the whole breaking news. And you realize that, and this is not by maybe research, authentic research or whatever it is, you realize that almost every comment that came on that page, about 90% of them, or 98% of them if you want, seem to be very, interestingly, they seem to be very okay with the tax. People, no, that's what I'm saying, that it's not based on
like I said, nobody
research, proper research, but I'm saying, and you may also say that maybe it's just because NDC people are there and they are commenting.
Obviously, yes.
Yes, but it looks as if that, no, and I want to ask you a question from this. It looks as if that right from when this government took office, if anything is posted or anything is said about this government, whether good or bad, people want to support it. Does it mean the NPP did so much wrong to the extent that people don't even see the wrongs of the NDC?
I don't think that the NPP did so much wrong. It was just that Ghanaians probably were tired of us, and they think that NDC is the alternative, and they've given them the alternative.
To the extent that almost everybody feel that even if the NDC is doing the wrong thing,
for those who are commenting under those posts, are you not aware that few weeks ago, all social media commentators of the NDC were assembled at the National Theatre or Accra International Conference Center, and they were all giving 1,500 as their monthly token?
Really?
Oh, this is
I didn't know.
This is in the public domain. This is in the public domain. These are people who are receiving something.
And this is factual.
When issues that are
Senyo, this is factual.
Oh, this is factual.
You can prove
there are pictures to that. It's on the media. So you see, media doesn't lie. So you
because I know some NDC friends of mine who didn't get.
So you see, so friends.
That's what I'm saying. It's not something.
Some people got it and others didn't get.
Really?
Yes. So for these people,
and this is what they take every month.
Let me tell you, yesterday when this thing came up, I went to bed around 3 a.m. I have been monitoring almost every top hierarchy of the NDC to look at what they'll put on their social media handle. Surprisingly, a lot of them did not put this on their social media. See, some of them are not happy.
They are not in agreement.
They are not in agreement, but they have to koto, because if you don't koto, your monthly additional top-up will not come from you.
They haven't explained.
The only people who put it on their social media handle is Shamima Muslim, Edem Agbana, Joyce Bauer, and then who else again? The finance minister himself.
Dr.
And I can tell you that when you...
But these are top officials.
These are top officials, but I can tell you that when you look at the comments under it tells you that all is not good.
Well, maybe differ from the comments that I read.
They have to read,
including our page on social media.
For those who are supporting, like I said, a place where you are and you are getting your local fuel on monthly basis, you don't expect that you have to bastardize them. But I see, fast forward, I don't know if my brother is done.
But these are pure allegations. I want to believe.
No, these are not allegations.
No, but these are not
allegations. It is in the media. I'm telling you that.
Do you have proof of it? Do you have pictures?
I have even.
Can you share the pictures with me?
I will share that with you before I leave the studio.
Yes, because
I will share that with you.
Beyond that, it's
even beyond that. You just attest to it that you have friends who are.
No, I said I have friends. I don't know about them telling me that they have made.
You want them to come and tell you? Why? You want them to tell you that?
Until you prove that for me,
don't worry, I will show the pictures.
The scenario of the e-levy, Gestapo that against the scenario of the fuel levy, the similarities are the same.
What's the similarity?
You know why? When e-levy was about to be introduced, NPP fanatics, excuse me to say, above the roof.
No, but I was against e-levy.
They supported it.
Many of you were.
They supported it through and through.
I was against e-levy.
A few were against this, isn't it? In the same scenario, the E-levy on the levy on the fuel. This one is called D-levy.
Yeah.
You have E-levy and this is D-levy. Dumsor levy, isn't it?
Well, you can also say F-levy because it's fuel levy.
Oh, it's D-levy because they said they are using it to solve dumsor.
Okay, but he's taking from the fuel pumps that them there.
And so it's a D-levy. So E-levy and D-levy or FD levy. Now, when it is about to be introduced, I'm sure within the caucus, they have spoken about it.
Absolutely, no doubt.
The finance minister wouldn't just come and say this. So they have started strategizing as to how they are going to defend this, communicate and defend this true to the peril of their life. And there are some elements within the NDC fraternity too who will certainly not be happy about the introduction of it. Because like I said, it is too early yet. They should have enjoyed the goodwill of the people at least to the tail end of the year, or let's say first month of what? 2026. For you to tell us that based on these deliverables, we've been able to achieve A, B, C, D with the little that we had. We've been able to reduce the energy sector debt by this quantum. But going forward, we believe that if you introduce this 1 Ghana cedi on the petroleum product, it will help us take care of, eradicate it, clean it completely. We would have taken you seriously. But if you play this cacophony, then just claim that because of a looming dumsor, all of a sudden you wake up and the following morning you are being told that a new 1 cedi levy is being imposed on fuel, then that means we are not being led well. And then again, finally to submit on this issue, is that the people are already suffering. The citizens are already suffering. If today, assuming I'm supposed to buy fuel for 10 cedis, okay, and because you have introduced the FD levy, I'm going to pay 11 cedis, obviously it's going to affect me. So now, you are forcing truck drivers and all these people to reduce their prices. Then all of a sudden, you have not solved that problem yet. Many of them have still refused to reduce their prices. And then you turn around to come and introduce another FD levy. How do you think they are going to take it?
Okay.
I rather encourage them to tell their members who are selling tomatoes and onions in the market should give us NDC prices. So that when I come to the market and NDC person is selling for 5 cedis and NPP person refuses to reduce his own for 10 cedis, I buy from the NDC followers. They should stop fooling us because we are tired of all of them.
Okay, so there's something special that is happening with my father, my hero. Father's Day. I'll be sharing that details with you in a couple of minutes. No, let me do some messaging. I'll come to you.
You come to me?
Yeah, I'll come to you.
Okay.
But you have to do that in 1 minute. I don't have time. My time is up. But let me
use 1 minute to do the reading. I think you should use 1 minute to do the reading.
These are my people. Let me speak to them. Mustafa Toyin Aswazi says, I fully support the finance minister's call for each of us to contribute just 1 cedi to help settle the energy sector debts inherited from the previous government. It's a small sacrifice for a greater good. Ending dumsor once and for all. This government has demonstrated remarkable leadership in stabilizing the economy, with the cedi appreciating significantly from 17 cedis to $1 down to 10 and still gaining strength. Let's all rally behind this initiative and support the government to succeed. A stable economy and reliable power supply benefit us all. And this one says that good morning, KMJ. We've sold our color TV for black and white. Ghanaians were scammed as we were promised that no new taxes will be introduced as Ghanaians are suffering. The finance minister said electronic levy is gone and no new tax will be imposed again. What has changed? KMJ, do you know we were dodging the E-levy, but with this energy levy or dumsor levy, D-levy, as said by the majority leader, that it is to help solve dumsor. My question is, why was the past government keeping our lights on without charging us? And today, they can't keep it on unless we pay. Water tariffs were increased, electricity tariffs increased, and today, the E-levy or D-levy is on board. What a hope. And paying 1 cedi on 100 cities and paying 1 cedi on 12 cities. Where is the hope? I'm most grateful. Nanton Du sent in that as well. And This one says, good morning, host and your guest. The Ghanaian attitude, instead your first speaker to tell us. Okay, I think I've done that. Mr. Host, this MPP man, tell him, did he chop our money? Some people who chop our money don't come to radio stations again to defend this Senyo. This Senyo guy self, Akufo-Addo Bawumia family, are quiet. Moses from Nigeria sent in that, and maybe I'll do the last one. Do I have some messages on Facebook? Maybe I can do that quickly and then wrap up. Good morning, KMJ. In fact, I'm disappointed about this. This cameras call NDC. What is dumsor levy? Sad. Adam from Tamale sent in that. Many thanks to all those who sent messages. I'll go on Facebook. Okay. Greetings, KMJ. Jafar Gomashi already knew there was money to build a sea defense wall for the people in the area, and Akufo-Addo didn't use the money, so we cannot give any excuses. She should start the work with immediate effect, otherwise they should be voted out next time. Nana, and I'm going to show you. Do your 1 minute for me, Senyo, and then I'll do a few messages on Facebook. Then for today. Yeah.
So, you know, KMJ...
So you're doing 1 minute.
KMJ, actually, this whole one CD thing there, Charlie, it's not good.
Okay.
It's not good. Because already we are paying 14.75 on electricity tariff. And then 4.02 for water. You can imagine, do your math. And now you are imposing an additional 1 Ghana cedis per liter. That is too much. Now, MPP was able to stabilize the power without imposing this excruciating tax on us. So what stops them? You know, surprisingly enough, I said, Atofosin was very proud to tell us that he will raise revenue without imposing tax this time around. He claimed that the NDC was not going to impose any tax. But what changed? For me, I think that they have just nicodemously robbed us in the broad daylight. And surprisingly enough, you know, yesterday, this whole thing took place in the evening, just as I said earlier on. Armed robbers always operate mostly in the evening. And they operated in the evening yesterday. You saw what the speaker was doing when even minority was telling them that, no, what you are doing is bad because Ghanaians are suffering. One Ghana, I'm sure my brother who is from the NDC, he can't talk because, Charlie, he's not happy about the 1 Ghana cedis. Yesterday, he was there to support them, but he's not happy about it. And he won't be able to talk about it. So I want to tell the president, if indeed he's a listening president, this is the time to show. Just like the fake doctor, immediately we talked about it. Quickly, her appointment was revoked. We want to see the president calling for abrogation of this amendment so that I will be the first person to go on a thank you demonstration to say that Mahama, you have done well for us.
Okay.
Because the 1 Ghana cedis there, yeah, bro.
Okay. You know, Matuk says that the introduction of e-levy on petroleum products is a reckless decision by the government and needs to be condemned by all. One thing that is more annoying about this e-levy thing is that even people who live in communities without electricity will also pay. Question is, what exactly are they paying for? And Akisime says that the energy sector levy amendment bill 2025 is a step in the right direction. The 1 Ghana cedi levy on petroleum products will generate revenue for energy sector projects, enhancing Ghana's energy security and sustainability. Kudos to Parliament for approving this bill. Let's support our government's effort to build a brighter future, energy future for all Ghanaians. Aaron Babakoko Komisa says, good morning to you. The Economic and Organized Crime Office, YOCO, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor are state independent bodies which I believe were established by an act of Parliament within the framework of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. All these state investigative independent bodies were established to handle corrupt case, fraud, and other malpractices within the government agencies. Why is it that if this same institution is calling ex-state government officials or appointees on corrupt and fraud charges, those government officials fail to show up? If our former government officials continue to behave like this, how can Ghana move forward? And the teacher Kojo says indirectly, the e-levy is back. We told you so. The NDC has nothing good to offer Ghanaians. The same old tactics, nothing new. all the noise they made in opposition against the NPP government, what has changed so far? There are higher percentages for water, electricity bills, and now fuel. Yet they gave you only a 10% pay rise, and nobody should complain. Just carry on with it. This is just the beginning. Next time, you would vote wisely. Greens to Honorable Eric and Nana Ajman. Okay. Musa Nabato says, I fully support the finance minister's call for each of us to contribute just one city to help settle the energy sector debt inherited from the previous government. This government has demonstrated remarkable leadership in stabilizing the economy, with the city appreciating significantly from 17 cities to $1 to 10. And Robert says, KMJ, the NPP people have taken the ESLA for collateral. So what do you want the current administration to find money to stop doing so? Okay, though many of your messages, unfortunately, I won't be able to do all of them, but I appreciate the fact that you were able to engage with us this morning. And we just been joined by Julius Kwatchenson. He was supposed to have been here with us throughout the conversation, and we sincerely apologize that we were not able to have him involved in the conversation. Rich, you'd have to just do an apology for me and we're done, because my time's up.
I've not made my final comment.
Oh, Rich, I know you like me. Why are you doing this now? Let the late come out, take his wall of shame, and then we can
just a minute, just a second, to say that nobody is against tax paying. Like I said, countries globally develop based on taxing.
Yeah.
So if we need to support them, for them to do the right thing, for us to do away with some of this debt that is hanging us our necks as an albatross, let's support them. But I only sincerely wish that whatever they are going to take the 1 cedi for, they shouldn't turn around and come and tell us that the debt rather accumulated instead of us taking it off completely.
Okay.
I end my case.
Okay, all right.
I have to sincerely apologize for that. There was an incident on the motorway that delayed me over 45 minutes.
Which one? The one at the...
Yeah,
I came through the same
situation.
Yeah, I was in the same situation.
The rain.
It means you didn't leave early from there.
I actually left.
So let's not make the excuses.
Well.
Let's just apologize.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So one point is fundamental. I don't think that at the inception of any tax, citizens would be happy, and I don't think that the imposition of tax is something that governments happily do. But in economic management, there's always the need to balance 3 key things. 1 is public service delivery. 2 is maintaining, the level of prices of things relatively lower. And 3 is to ensure that there is disposable income available to people. What we ordinarily say that we put money in the pockets of people. How else does government put money into the pockets of people? Is by ensuring that exchange rates are stable, is by ensuring that prices of things are moderate, and in that case, people have more at their hands to spend. When you do that, you have an obligation to maintain public services. The lights being on is public service. The water running is public service. To do that, you need revenue to do that. And so the question we must be asking here is that in managing these issues that have to do with balance, how well do you deliver on it in a manner that ensures that the ultimate consumer does not pay too much to be able to access these services? We are dealing with a situation where fuel prices were somewhere around 16 cedis, I think, diesel, before President Mahama took over. Exchange rates was hovering around a similar figure. We have managed to draw down. We have managed to draw down that figure. It's now trading around 12 Ghana cedis. An imposition of 1 cedi on a liter of fuel invariably takes 1 cedi out of the gains that the person would have made. 4 cedis gain. That is what the government has directly put into your pocket by the situation we have, reducing fuel prices from 16 cedis to 12 cedis. Government is taking a cedi of that. It is not pleasurable to pay taxes at any point in time. But where we have the balance between cost of living and the need to maintain public service, especially in the face of energy sector debts, 3.1 billion, government having to, pay at least $1.2 billion, and I'm talking about dollars, not cedis, to keep our thermal plants running, there is the urgent need for us to clear those debts and make sure that we don't collapse the sector. If we allow the sector to run the way it is running, unsustainable high debt levels without clearing them, or we are going to face a situation where the light turns off completely. Ghanaians, I believe, are very reasonable people. They would understand, especially in the face of prices of things coming down, when we need to make some money available to deal with the energy or the power sector crisis once and for all. So I think that it is a necessity, not something government does happily, but it is necessary and it comes at a time where there is that real balance between, you know, people having disposable income, people having a cost of living relatively lower. Inflation as of now is down around 21% as compared to 50% that they're running. So I think that Ghanaians should support President Mahama and the NDC administration so that we deal with our energy sector problem once and for all.
All right, very well. The CEO of COMAC actually disagree with you on that, but I don't have time to engage in that now. I've asked you a few questions with regards to that. Maybe on another time we'll be able to do so. But we're done. You remember the late Adekoka?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah. We're celebrating his legacy today here on the show. So maybe you guys can just say in 30 seconds.
Yeah. In fact, I personally, I think that he's a very fine gentleman. He's been of help to the NDC. I think he's been 3 times regional chairman for the Greater Accra. And the only thing I felt when he passed on is that I think that the party led by the General Secretary, the President, the General Secretary, the Chairman, they've been very sensitive to this man. And I don't think that wherever he is, his soul will be happy. Do you know why? The party has not issued a public directive to, you know, empathize with the family. I've checked on the General Secretary's Facebook wall or his social media handles. There is nothing to empathize with him. The same thing applies to the President. The same thing applies to the Chairman. And this is a voice in the party. The only person I saw is Educhi Tamakulu, and then the Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer. And these are people who have had the opportunity to work with him as Deputy Regional Youth Organizers before. And I was happy when they came on. But I was worried when I didn't see the President, the General Secretary, and the Chairman. At least they are the face of the party. They should issue a statement. At least we should see their flags, you know, raised half in a way that at least it shows that they're actually empathizing. So for me, I think that the leadership of the party, from the President, Chairman to the General Secretary, they've been very insensitive to this man. And wherever he is, may he so rest in peace. But I'm sure he will not be happy with the leadership of the party.
Richard.
All right, just condolences to the family. It is difficult to lose such a fine gentleman, an astute member of the family who has contributed his quota to the development of the nation. It is just unfortunate that his government is in power and he has just hesitated. I wish him a safe journey back home, but I pray and sincerely believe that the good works he did will be remembered forever. Thank you.
Okay. Well, do 30 seconds.
I think grief is a very difficult feeling for anyone at all, and his contributions from the accounts that everybody makes, especially what I saw from Edwigi Tamaklo and all those who have closely worked with him. He is an affable man, served the NDC for several years, and his loss definitely is deeply, you know, regretted. I do not think that in circumstances like this we should be pointing fingers about how someone has been to another person and all of those things. People react to loss in different ways. I don't think that our view about how loss should be reacted to should be superimposed upon how other people react to that loss. I don't think that anybody would be happy at the loss of someone who has contributed so greatly. So I pray for the family that in this period they would find comfort from the Lord, and may His soul rest in peace.
All right, very well, thank you. And so I promised that I was going to tell you something about Father's Day. So the multimedia group, Joy Prime, the Joy Primes, we're doing this for fathers, and I want you to be a part of it. It's called the My Father, My Hero. And this Father's Day, honor the man who's actually shown you so much love by sending us 30 seconds video to 055-157-5757. Share with us your dad's heroic moment, and you could actually win big, and your story might also just be featured. And so all you have to do is to just send us that 30 seconds video and tell us what your dad has done significantly that has impacted your life in many, many ways. And you never can tell. You may just put your dad in the spotlight, and you can send it to 055-157-5757. We're definitely going to be taking a look at that. I'm reminding you again that on Sunday, 4 p.m., Big Chef is going to be on. Please do well and be a part of it. Last week over the weekend, Marvin and Cliff Hereford were evicted. Who is going to be going home on Sunday at 4 p.m.? You want to find out, you can do so by just watching at 4 p.m. or also on our Facebook page as well. Yesterday was your birthday. Happy, glorious birthday to Benedicta Yabua. And this one is coming from your mother and your siblings. They wish you God's blessings. And it's going out to you again. Happy birthday. Glorious one going out to you, Benedicta Yabua. It's from your mother and your siblings. Yesterday was your birthday. Belated happy birthday to you. Guys, a big thank you to you for coming. I'm grateful for your time.